You've seen the posts. Influencers with sleek patches on their arms, breathlessly warning you that your morning banana is spiking your blood sugar and destroying your health. Continuous glucose monitors are everywhere now. Once reserved for diabetics, they've become the hottest wellness accessory of the decade. But here's what nobody's telling you. The science says your blood sugar is probably just fine, and the fear you're feeling? That's by design. Welcome to Internet MythBusters. Here's what we're investigating today. Did wellness influencers convince millions of healthy people to fear a completely normal biological process? Spoiler, yes. Yes, they did. We're going to trace where this trend started, why the science doesn't support it, and how obsessive tracking might actually be hurting the people it claims to help. Along the way, we'll meet the glucose goddess, examine what your body actually does after you eat a banana, and uncover a troubling connection to disordered eating. Let's start with the basics. A continuous glucose monitor is a small sensor that sticks to your arm and tracks your blood sugar levels in real time, 24/7. These devices were developed as life-saving technology for people with diabetes. They revolutionized how diabetics manage their condition, replacing painful finger pricks with constant data streams. For diabetics, CGMs are genuinely important. They catch dangerous lows before they happen. They help people dose insulin correctly. The evidence for their medical use is rock solid. But somewhere around 2020, something shifted. Wellness influencers discovered these medical devices and rebranded them as optimization tools for perfectly healthy people. The pitch was seductive. What if you could see exactly how every food affects your body? What if you could hack your metabolism? What if the secret to health was hiding in your data? Companies started marketing CGMs directly to healthy consumers, promising metabolic insights. Subscriptions cost $200 to $400 per month. The wellness industry smelled gold. Enter the influencers. Accounts like the glucose goddess amassed millions of followers by posting dramatic graphs of blood sugar spikes and teaching people to fear normal meals. The message was consistent and alarming. That innocent-looking rice is spiking your glucose. That fruit smoothie is sending your blood sugar into crisis. Your body is betraying you. Here's the problem with that narrative. According to a major study, healthy non-diabetic individuals spend 96% of their time in the ideal blood glucose range. 96%. That means healthy people are almost always in the safe zone, between 70 and 140 milligrams per deciliter. The crisis simply doesn't exist. But wait, the influencers say, what about those spikes after meals? Aren't those dangerous? No. No, they are not. That's your body working correctly. As the American Council on Science and Health puts it, for healthy people, glucose rising after a meal isn't a crisis. It's biology doing exactly what it's supposed to do. When you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises. Then your pancreas releases insulin. Your cells absorb the glucose. Your blood sugar returns to baseline. That's the whole process. The influencers took this normal, healthy process and reframed it as a metabolic emergency requiring intervention. Why? Because emergencies sell products. Fear moves units. Johns Hopkins researchers have been direct about this. Quote, there is a lack of evidence to demonstrate the effective use of continuous glucose monitors in people not living with diabetes. That's not some fringe opinion. That's leading researchers at one of the world's top public health institutions saying, we don't have evidence this helps healthy people. Harvard Health adds another wrinkle. Normal CGM pattern interpretation for people without diabetes is not well established. There's no validated perfect consumer target to hit. In other words, even if you buy the device and track your glucose religiously, nobody actually knows what the numbers should look like for a healthy person trying to optimize. So people are paying hundreds of dollars monthly to track a metric that's almost certainly fine, using targets that aren't scientifically validated to solve a problem they don't have. But here's where the story gets darker. This constant monitoring isn't just expensive and unnecessary. Research shows it may actually be causing psychological harm. Studies have linked compulsive self-monitoring to significant stress and anxiety. When you're constantly watching a number, every fluctuation becomes a source of worry. Even more troubling, researchers have found connections between obsessive glucose tracking and disordered eating patterns, including orthorexia and unhealthy fixation on eating pure foods. CGM users without diabetes frequently misinterpret normal glucose variations as problems requiring dietary restriction. They eliminate foods that were never causing harm. A banana causes a glucose spike. Better never eat bananas again. Pasta made my graph go up. Guess I'm cutting carbs forever. This is how eating disorders develop. The cruel irony is that these wellness tools, marketed as the path to health, may be creating a new category of anxiety-driven illness. The cure becomes the disease. Now, to be fair, the CGM wellness companies make some reasonable-sounding arguments. They claim their products help people make better food choices and could prevent future metabolic disease. The problem is that this argument is speculative at best. There's no long-term evidence that CGM use in healthy people prevents diabetes or improves health outcomes. The scientific consensus currently favors the critics. Most endocrinologists and public health experts say healthy people simply don't need these devices. So how did we get here? How did a medical device for diabetics become a status symbol for wellness influencers? The answer involves some clever marketing and a lot of fear. These companies understood something fundamental about wellness culture. People don't buy products that say you're fine. They buy products that identify problems and then solve them. The glucose spike became the perfect villain. It's invisible without special equipment. It sounds technical and scary. And everyone experiences it after eating. So everyone's a potential customer. The timing was perfect too. CGMs became a wellness trend right as pandemic anxiety peaked. People were already worried about their health and looking for things they could control. Social media algorithms did the rest. Dramatic glucose spike content gets engagement. Calm reassurance that you're probably fine doesn't trend. The incentives all pointed toward fear. And here we are. Millions of healthy people convinced that normal biology is a disease state. Companies profiting from manufactured anxiety. Eating disorders dressed up as optimization. So what should you actually take away from all this? First, understand normal physiology. Blood sugar rising after eating carbs is your body working correctly, not a health emergency. Second, question wellness product marketing. If a medical device is being sold to healthy people, ask what evidence actually supports that use. Demand the studies, not the testimonials. Third, recognize when health tracking becomes harmful. If monitoring a metric is causing stress rather than improving your actual health outcomes, it might be time to reconsider the practice. Before you buy any wellness device, ask yourself, what problem am I actually trying to solve? Is there evidence this device solves it? Or am I paying to manufacture a new anxiety? If you're already tracking and feeling anxious, consider taking a break. See what happens when you eat without surveillance. You might rediscover that food can just be food. And if you're genuinely concerned about your metabolic health, talk to a doctor. Get actual blood work. Don't diagnose yourself based on Instagram graphs and influencer anxiety. Remember, CGMs have strong evidence for diabetes management. If you have diabetes or prediabetes diagnosed by a physician, these are legitimate medical tools. Context matters. The issue isn't CGMs themselves. It's the marketing of medical devices to people who don't need them, using fear of normal biology as the sales pitch. That's what we're calling out. Be especially wary of influencer health advice. Social media content creators aren't bound by the same evidence standards as medical professionals. They're bound by engagement metrics. The person with 1 million followers selling you fear has a financial incentive to keep you scared. The endocrinologist saying you're fine has a medical degree and nothing to sell you. Here's a thought experiment. If you couldn't see the graph, would you feel bad after eating that banana? Probably not. The anxiety comes from the measurement, not the meal. Your body has been regulating glucose successfully for your entire life. It doesn't need a subscription service to keep doing what it's always done. You're probably fine. The data agrees. So that's the glucose monitor wellness scam. Medical devices marketed to healthy people. Normal biology rebranded as disease. Anxiety dressed up as optimization. Fear converted into profit. The science is clear. Healthy people maintain ideal glucose 96% of the time. The post-meal rises influencers demonize are completely normal. Your blood sugar is probably just fine. The real question isn't whether glucose spikes are dangerous. They're not. It's why we keep falling for products that teach us to fear our own bodies. That's worth monitoring. If this kind of investigation is useful to you, a like helps more people find us. We cover wellness myths, viral claims, and internet scams every week. Subscribe if you want to keep seeing through the noise. I'm your host, and this has been Internet MythBusters. Until next time, stay skeptical, stay curious, and don't let anyone charge you money to fear your own biology.